Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome, everybody, to the Hockey Think Tank podcast, brought to you by the Hockey Think Tank community, a place for all passionate players, coaches, and parents can go to get a little bit of education and a little bit of inspiration regarding the greatest game on the planet. What an episode we have for you guys here today. We are bringing on Jon Francisco. That is fun to say. Of 4Check Hockey. Man, was this an awesome conversation. Jon is one of the leaders in the industry at Body Contact, and his company 4Check Hockey, they do an amazing job with camps and clinics on body contact and body checking. They have body checking dummies that they use that are phenomenal. We do get into that on the podcast. Before we do get over to Jon, though, a couple updates from the Hockey Think Tank. First of all, awesome stuff with the community right now. We have entered into with partnership with the Rink Shrinks, Mike Motto and Brian Yandel. And this past Sunday, we did a awesome call with those guys. And once a month, we bring on a guest like Brandon Naurato, 7-time Stanley Cup winner Barry Smith, obviously the Rink Shrink guys on there as well. And we've had a lot of fun. With those. So if you're not a part of the community, go to community.thehockeythinktank.com and get in there. Today, we are also wrapping up our youth hockey blueprint season. So we've worked with youth hockey organizations all over North America, all shapes and sizes, all levels this year, in doing this youth hockey blueprint, and it has been an absolute blast. We have learned a ton from it, and we can't wait to get started with year 2. So if you are interested in partnering up with us with this youth hockey blueprint, again, we work with organizations of all levels, shapes, and sizes. Reach out to me, Topher at thehockeythinktank.com. Love to have a conversation with you. We also have a referral program as well. So if you are a parent that think this would be good for your youth hockey organization, you can hop on over to our website and put in a referral for your youth hockey organization as well. So awesome stuff there. Now let's bring on the talent of the podcast, Jeffrey Jehu Lavecchio. Vex, what's shaking today, brother?
Just living, baby. Excited about the stuff that you guys put out with the Hockey Think Tank here for the parents. So cool, absolutely so cool. And I will not stop saying this on the podcast, guys. I'm gonna make Toph do another coach's seminar, because now that I got this sick new space that is massive and can hold hundreds of people, I'm going to make him do a coaching seminar here in St. Louis. So I'm going to keep pushing on with that. I'm going to keep poking and prodding and get a whole bunch of good people together that love trying to make the game better here. So that's my mission. So
there we go. And what Vex is referring to is we put out parent courses. We got 3 of them. One is the Hockey Think Tank Parents Survive and Thrive Guide. And this is all about understanding the youth hockey journey and how you can enjoy it a little bit more with your kid and help to support your kid at the end of the day. We've been doing this podcast for 6+ years. I've been involved in youth hockey as a hockey director, as a coach, and now working with all these different organizations. So I've gotten the opportunity to speak to so many different parents about what their stresses are, what the challenges are, how they can support their kid better. And so to be able to do that on a macro level and put this out there, it's something that we're really, really passionate about. And so we talk about everything from the fear of missing out that a lot of parents, they feel. We talk about communication with their kids in the car ride home and how to make sure that that's a healthy thing. We talk about how to build a parent culture, the importance of what is your why as a hockey parent. Why'd you put your kid in youth hockey? And so it's something that, again, we're really passionate about. It's like $20. So basically covering our costs. Like this is something that we hope can make a huge dent on the youth hockey world. So we have 1, and then we have 2 that are all about kind of like what's the path to high level hockey. We call it Recruiting 101. We have 2 different ones. One is for the boys side and one is for the girls side, because those paths are different. Obviously on the boys side, there's junior hockey. On the girls side, there isn't. And so we talk about everything from for me, we're as honest as could be. And if you want to play high level hockey, the first thing that you have to be is good. You have to be good and stop putting so much of the focus on the external. What tournament does my kid need to go to? What showcase team do they need to be on? Blah, blah, blah. No, like your kid's got to be good at hockey. So how can we help them to be good at hockey? Number one. And then we take them into the back rooms of what college scouts are looking for. What their process is like as they're doing their information gathering to get to know who your kid is and your family is and stuff like that. What are they looking for on the ice? What can you do to help get your kid on the radar as far as reaching out to different college teams or reaching out to different junior teams? So again, we have those 3 different courses, one a little bit more focused on how you can understand the journey a little bit better with your kid and enjoy the experience. Another one a little bit more tailored towards if your kid does have a dream of playing high level hockey, what does that look like and what can you do to help support your kid in that? And so we've gotten a ton of really good feedback on them already. They've only been out for like 3 days now. But the amount of people that have reached out has been really, really cool, man. Really, really cool. And there's not a lot of this out there. There's not a lot of parent education out there. And so this was something we felt could really make a positive impact on the hockey community. And so, yeah, head over to thehockeythinktank.com and look up the courses and get those today.
I just love that, that you made it $20, bro. Like it could easily been a lot more money and it's freaking $20. So I love that you did it that way too. Very cool.
It's about impact, dude. It's about impact. That's what we do at the Hockey Think Tank. But you got to be gearing up, right? Like seasons are starting to end a little bit. Like the busy season for you is right around the corner, I would imagine. And you're probably doing a lot of work right now, getting things prepared for that.
Yes, sir. Finishing off the 2025 online off-season training program that teams and organizations and individuals can all sign up for. Really, really, really excited. Every year, the goal is, and I achieve it, is to make it better, more dialed in, more applicable, just everything, better experience. So really excited. So you have a team, whether they're under 13 years old or over 13 years old, they want to train with me online. I give massive, massive discounts to teams that sign up with me, massive discounts to organizations that sign up with me, because again, like Toph, my goal with the online training side is impact and also quality training at a hilariously low price, especially because I trained out of multiple gyms throughout my career as a player and as a coach here until I had my own training locations now, 5 of them. And I saw just how bad some of the training is, and it kills me. So to be able to now finally offer this at, basically what I charge to train with me one day for a month or 2 days, less than 2 days with me in person for an entire month, every month of the off season. So really excited to get those going and get those out to the public to start ripping.
There you go, brother. There you go. Before we get over to this conversation, I just had my alumni weekend at Cornell, man. Just had my alumni weekend at Cornell, and man, do I miss the boys. Like, you get everybody together. There's probably 25, 30 of us that came back. They recognized our championship team from when the ECA season 2005. And it was so amazing to reflect and reminisce on your experience with the guys that you do it with. And I feel like, and I wrote this in a blog, I wrote a blog about it. That's on the website right now, but creating memories with people that you love is what life is all about. And sometimes the memories aren't great, but they make you better for it, or they make you tighter for it. You go through trials and tribulations, you go through ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I'm very fortunate and, dare I say, spoiled with the experience that I had with the players that I was able to go to battle with. And to sit around and tell war stories and to sit around and talk about just what our experiences gave us from a hockey perspective, but also just from a life perspective, man. It really makes me think about how impactful just living in the moment can be. And I think when you're at that age, it might be a little bit easier to live in the moment than it is right now as somebody with 3 kids and building a business and all that kind of stuff. But it really brought me back to the center of, number one, how important it is to surround yourself with good people, and then just the impact of creating memories and being in the memories and being present when them as you're going through them. Just an awesome weekend, man. Awesome
cool.
weekend.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, won a championship there, man.
How are we 20 years fast forwarded from our college hockey career?
It's
What
insane.
What the F, man?
Loose
Enjoy
kid.
it. Enjoy it while you can.
But I think that is something that could be like tailored down to youth hockey as well. You know?
Of course. I tell every kid that I'm training, every kid, I don't care if they're 10 or if they're 20 or they're a pro at 32. I'm like, dude, every single day, enjoy it, because this that you have right now, life will never be like it is right now. Like, it won't be. The real world, you can't get in an argument with your coworker, drop the gloves, beat the piss out of each other, and then shake hands and be laughing about it in the locker room an hour later. That's not a thing. That's not what happens. You can't chirp people from other businesses as hard as you can, the way that you are on the ice, chirping your opponents. Like, it's and then obviously everything that's going on and going to battle every day and practice with your guys so that you get better for the weekend to go to the real battles and the real games. It's enjoy every second of the game.
Amen, man. Live in the moment as best you can. That's much easier said than done, but living in the moment is something that can help us to create some of those memories we were talking about way more than if we're living in an alternate universe as we're going through it, or we're stuck in the past or the future. So this was a great conversation with Jon. Just a phenomenal hockey guy, really smart hockey guy. What he's doing right now with 4Check hockey is absolutely incredible. If you want more information, go to 4checkhockey.com. That's where you can find him, or 4Check hockey on Instagram. And it's the number 4 checkhockey.com. So just a great hockey guy. And before we do get over to Jon, though, we do have some people to thank. First, I want to thank icehockeysystems.com, our title sponsor, the best website out there for all your coaching education needs. They got thousands of drills. They got whiteboard explanations from really high level hockey people, the ability to go in and draw your drills up and actually create a drill library for yourself, or practice plan library for yourself. Or we have partnered with them to do a youth hockey organization plan where you can get this for every single coach in your association. And so go to icehockeysystems.com today, and you will get access to that. Also, we want to thank Helios Hockey. Helios Hockey, this is an unbelievable product. It's a sensor that you put in your shoulder pads that gives you real-time data, real-time feedback, especially when it comes to your stride and especially when it comes to your hustle score. So every time that you move, that thing gets going, and the kids absolutely love it. So go to helioshockey.com today, and you will get a 20% discount on a pro annual or pro 24-month subscription by using the coupon code ThinkTank, one word. Again, go to helioshockey.com and use the coupon code ThinkTank, one word, and you'll get 20% off your pro annual or pro 24-month subscription. Also want to thank Crossbar. Crossbar is an unbelievable software solution that can help you streamline and run your youth hockey organization so well. All the operations are in there. Every hockey director or president that I've talked to that have switched over to Crossbar has been so happy that they've did, because the website looks amazing. It's just a really nice and clean website design. Registration for your season or drop-ins, clinics, lessons, very, very easy to use. They got a club schedule. They got a five-star communications app where you can speak and message all the people in your organization. They also have things like facility management, volunteer management, financial management. It's just a one-stop shop to run your youth organization. So go to crossbar.org today and check them out. And also, Jeffrey is frozen right now on his computer, so I'm going to thank Train Heroic for him. It's an app that you get on your phone, and Vex has used it to train tens and thousands of people online. He's been doing this for years now. I have used it. It's an unbelievable thing. So go to Train Heroic, download that today, and look up Jeff Lavecchio, his ripped hockey plans, and you can get it for the elite athlete. You can get it just to be a little bit more healthier if you're not an athlete, whatever it may be. So Train Heroic, awesome stuff from him. And thank you to all of you who continue to support us and listen to the podcast. If you can do us a solid, we would just ask you to interact with our podcast in whatever way you can, whether that's through a like, a comment, a download, a rating, subscribing to us, or following us on whatever your podcast app that you're using, whether that's iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. We're everywhere. So thank you guys so much for all of that. We love you. We love bringing on smart, awesome guests like Jon Francisco of 4Check Hockey. So without further ado, here we go with Jon Francisco.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
The secret is out. With millions of younger-looking customers across the country, Plexiderm is one of the most highly sought-after products on the market. It visibly shrinks under-eye bags and smooths out crow's feet in minutes, and the effects last up to 10 hours. Influencers love it, magazines feature it, and people just can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, Elle Magazine gave it an Editor's Choice Award as Best Instant Wrinkle Filler for 2025. In as little as 10 minutes, Plexiderm reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and those dreaded under-eye bags. So yes, you can look years younger in minutes, and the effects last for hours. No surgery, no gimmicks, just results. The best news, you can try Plexiderm for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Don't wait. Order Plexiderm today. Visit plexiderm.com/special. That's plexiderm.com/special. Paid for by Sheer Science.
We are so excited to have back on the Hockey Think Tank podcast. He's out in Michigan via Minnesota. We got Jon Francisco of 4Check Hockey. Jon, how are we doing today?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me, and nice to see you guys again.
Oh, man, great to see you. So it's kind of funny. Like whenever hockey guys to get together, Jon and I had a call about an hour ago. We were going to discuss some partnership type things together. 40 minutes in, we were kind of like, we should probably start talking about like the partnership type things instead of just talking some hockey. Eh? Like you can never, like when you're talking with good hockey people, you can never get outside of that, can you?
No, I mean, you walk into a rink too, right? And it's like, oh, let's talk about how the life is and how everybody else is doing in the family. And before you know it, just turned to hockey and something else about hockey and this and that. And yeah, never on topic. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of that, like I wanna kind of reintroduce you to the people that listen to our podcast, and what you're doing with 4Check Hockey is such a valuable and needed thing in the hockey world today. I know for us, a lot of the questions that we get come from Bantam parents, but where this whole checking thing is starting, and I don't know what to do. Like, how do we help? Like and a lot of it is like, hey, my kid's not doing a very good job with it. Like you can tell that they're a little bit more timid on the ice. You can tell that they're, not maybe like as assertive as they once were in their confidence of even handling the puck and stuff because of checking that's happening. And you guys do such a great job of educating coaches and working with players. And so if you can just talk a little bit about what 4Check Hockey is, why you started 4Check Hockey, and the type of positive impact that you're making on the hockey world at large right now.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate, it's one of those things where we are a company that comes in and teaches contact checking and concussion prevention with the use of custom dummies that slide on the ice. And so that's kind of how we all started. And to be honest with you, it was one of those where it all started because of two things. One, I questioned how many concussions I had when I played. I was fortunate enough to play, so I know how you and Vex play. You guys are kind of head first, right? That's how you guys play the game. But, it's life changed a lot, right, for me. And then I also had a kid that was coming up through that age group and wanted to find a way to teach him properly how to use his body. And it kind of just morphed from there. So it turned into him and then his buddies and then turned into camps. And now we work on with full on organizations to really kind of help train the trainers as well too. So it's just like school, right? If you want good players, you need good teachers. And so that's kind of the approach that we take. So we go into organizations and go in and teach them how to use our dummies, do an on ice session or an off ice session with them, and then uh, go on the ice with the kids, and then teach the kids how to properly use their bodies. That's the biggest thing, and not put themselves in bad situations. The way the game is taught now, it's so fast and so quick. And I think the body contact part of it all is just being missed in it, right? At the younger ages, kids are allowed to kind of wheel around without getting touched. And by the time checking comes or contact comes, even in the girls' game, everybody's fully developed at that point, right? You have some people that are 6 feet at that point, and some people that are still, 4 feet. And so once they introduce the checking, it really becomes difficult, becomes a big part of the game. And we just want to educate people and make it safe for people and give them the opportunity to do it. I think, the way that you and I and Vex probably learned is you go against your buddy and you go kind of kick the crap out of each other, right? And nobody wants to do that, but you learn after a while. And I think, it's a safe way to learn and then be able to kind of progress into using, live players. But all of our drills are game-like scenarios. The dummies slide on the ice, and we really have a lot of fun doing it. If we're able to turn the music on in the rink, we do that and have some fun doing it.
So it's a little bit different than when Vex and I were growing up and we're that age where literally, I think we might have even talked about this on the last podcast, but you line up one person on the blue line on one side, one person on the blue line on the other side. You skate as fast as you can down the zone around the corner, and then you're supposed to hit each other behind the net. Like I remember that in that drill in a checking clinic. And of course, you're 13 years old, 12 years old, whatever we were in starting Pee-wees, and you're going, so you just want to kill the other guy. So you're literally skating full speed, blue line down through the corner while the other guy's doing that. And then boom, you get physical behind the net. And that is sure my first couple concussions probably came from that.
Yeah, that's insane. That drill. That is a car crash waiting to happen. That is
no, it's not a car crash. It's a head-on car crash where both cars are going full speed.
That is the dumbest drill I've ever heard. I thought what I was about to say was dumb. That is dumber.
Yep, Glenview Ice Center checking clinic. I'll never forget that drill. We loved it at the time. You're trying to kill it, but then you're always like, oh, I feel a little dizzy right now. This
we ran the gauntlet, the gauntlet where everybody lines up 5 feet off the boards. One guy goes down and gets murdered by the other 18 guys on the team. And you got the one funny guy who goes for the fake high hit and takes your legs out. So you do a flip. That was my checking clinic when I was playing with guys that were all 3 years older than me. That was super fun.
So John, let me ask you this, that you're doing a lot of these clinics with these kids, and just knowing you, but knowing the game too, like I have to imagine that what you're doing in teaching checking and body contact and stuff is also going to lead to more hockey sense and becoming a better hockey player as well. Can you equate kind of the two as far as like understanding how to use your body in like what most people would call a checking clinic kind of experience, but how that can also help them to be better hockey players at the end of the day as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you watch a game and see how many puck battles there are right in a game. And so a lot of the game is played with puck battles, and USA hockey, obviously with the small area games and whatnot, it's more body contact, tighter areas. And I think learning how to properly use your body, what your body's capable of too, right? A lot of people don't understand really what their bodies are capable of and how to stay strong on your skates and how to put your body, in between the puck and the player. That's a huge part of the game, and puck protection. We talk about it a lot, but we don't really teach it a lot, right? You can teach that stuff at the lower age levels and stuff and still not have it be checking, right? But everybody kind of thinks about checking later on. And that's the nice part about our service is we have that with the dummies, but we also try to teach the body contact both in the boys and the girls side. If you watch a PWHL game these days, it's full on checking, just like the boys games, right? And so, this teaches players to have their heads up. It's it's not one of it's a dummy, right? So it stands 6 feet tall, and you have to look around it and be part of it. And I think during the games, learning to have the on ice awareness of keeping your head up and proper body positioning and not getting blown up and not being in the wrong spot to get a suicide pass even, right? I mean, ask how many players that are under age 12 right now that know what a suicide pass, and I would say about half of them really do. And by the time
Really?
by the time they get to checking, they still don't know what it is, and they put themselves in a position of a suicide pass, and lo and behold, they're getting a pass and getting blown up, right? And so it's just that education piece of it all, and it does make better, smarter hockey players by having their heads up, being stronger on their skates, being able to control the play, angle people off correctly. It's all part of it, right? All the little pieces of the game that we try to teach everybody, and try to put it all together into one big happy game, right?
So let me ask you this. You have a son that's at the national team development program right now, and we have a lot of youth coaches that listen to this. And if your kid's playing at the NTDP, he's probably a pretty smart hockey player. So just in your coaching of him growing up, or being a part of him becoming a better hockey player with your background and your playing career that you had in coaching, what were some of the things that you did as a coach with your son and maybe his friends and his teammates as it relates to this body contact, that you feel like has helped him to develop the skills to be where he's at right now?
Oh gosh, that's kind of a loaded question. I think a lot of it was angling, right? Learning how to play the game with angles. And so, how you go in on a 4-check, how you take, so you can't just go head on with somebody anymore, because it makes it a lot easier for them to go around you. You have to give them some space and take it away, and learn to angle them off on the boards. And, it's not like these kids are making big, massive blow up hits, right? The game isn't played that way anymore, and that's not a problem. The thing of it is you have a second to make a decision to get them to go to where you want them to go, but then you have to finish on where they go, right? And so I think that's a big part of the game. And a lot of the kids that we've taught and kids that we've had through our program, it just the kind of the light goes on. One, this is where I have to go. I have to first give it and then take it away, and then I have to go through the body and through the hands. And this is how I put my feet so I don't just get run over. And so that was all part of it. And I think just that education and the repetition of doing it over and over and over, and I think that helps out a lot too. So, and then educating the coaches to be able to do it. So.
Yeah. And did you guys, I would imagine you guys played a lot of games, played like a lot
Yeah.
of small area games, teaching all the angling and stuff that you're talking about. Do you have a favorite one? You got a favorite kind of like small area game that you do when it relates to body contact, hockey sense, and all the things that we're talking about right now? Putting you on the spot here.
You are definitely putting me on the spot. We great example. Obviously, the easy ones are on a 4-check, right? The D-man comes around the net, and the forward's got to go in front of the net, right? And the defenseman has to skate it past the blue line, and the forward has to take it away from the defenseman, right? And so you can use all of that ice, and those D will cut back, they'll cut inside, right? You may overcommit as you're coming across, and they can cut behind you. It's kind of that cat and mouse game coming around the net, and it's a fun game, right? The D love getting past the blue line with the puck, and the forwards love running the D over, getting the puck from the D and going and scoring. So it becomes kind of a continuous game, but that's really an easy one that we do with all levels, boys and girls.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to interject on the angling thing, just because it's not something that like we were taught when maybe Toph was, well, maybe not with the car accident game that he was playing, learning to hit, but like we weren't really taught. We did one drill growing up that helped like learn about angling, but like me as a guy who made a living being F1 all the time, like always, because that was, you're fast, you're an idiot, go be F1. So like when you learn to angle, it makes hitting so much easier. So like when you go right at a guy, and I see this in youth hockey all the time, a guy, I don't know why they call it B-lining, because it's not a B, it's a lowercase L. But when you lowercase L line at a guy, like you alluded to it very quickly, but that D-man just needs to give one shimmy and you bite and you're not going to be able to hit that guy. You're off balance, right? As a guy who is always F1, when I started to learn from coaches and we did more and more drills on the importance of angling and what you said, show them where you want them to go, not where they want to go, where you want them to go. And this is like thinking the game and watching video and all these things. Not only does it make hitting easier, you're going to take away more chances. You're going to play more on offense, need to hit less, and be more in the offensive zone. Like I don't, when I go and watch youth practices, I don't really see when they're showing like hitting and stuff, like a major emphasis on angling and stick pressure. But if you start with that, everything after that is so much easier.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's some of the things that we teach them. It doesn't matter if you hit them right away or if you angle them into the boards 10 feet down, right? Like you're making them go exactly where you want them to go. And at some point, they're not going to be able to go anywhere. They're still in a rink, right? They can't skate out of the rink anywhere. Yeah, this isn't right. So if you're taking the right angle, at some point, they're going to run out of real estate and you're going to be able to get the puck. And so that's a big emphasis on a lot of our teachings that we do. Like I said, our dummies slide on the ice so we can do it too. And then we progress into doing it against other players too. So you're 100% spot on. You're going to have the puck more. You're going to be on the offensive side of it. You're going to have more control of the game. Like everybody talks about, protect the center of the ice, right? You can protect the center, but you still got to angle people out to the outside. So
yeah. And then the other part of that drill, when you do it live, are you giving advice on the guys that are getting hit on things that they can be doing and things like that?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's, guys that are, if you're coming down the ice, you can take more ice to the inside, right? And so say you're skating down the ice and you get off the boards, get down the dot line a little bit more. Now you have now you have room to do something if you do get angled off, right? You can shimmy, shake, you can cut back, you have some room to be able to do something. If you just skate right down the boards, you're just making it that much easier to angle yourself right off into the at the blue line, right? It's an easy pinch for a defenseman. And so get yourself off the boards, give yourself some space, and now you have it's almost like an escape zone to be able to get out or do something with it then at that point.
I got injured once like that too. Skating USHL first year, just trying to gain the red line. Oh God, I know I'm going to get murdered here. I know it. Get the red line. Do not ice this puck. If you do, your career's over. Get to the red line. And I did. And I was against the boards like an idiot. Like you said, didn't give myself an option that I could go east-west at all. And I got hit so hard right at the red line. My groin snapped off the bone. Yeah. It was terrible. And it was at the same rink where
That's all right. If you didn't get the red line, Hastings was going to snap it off the bone anyway. So.
That's so true. Yeah, like exactly what you're saying. Like, I didn't figure it out myself, which obviously I put massive onus on myself, but like no coaches were ever talking about that back then. Like just by getting a few feet off the boards, you increase your options of what to do and how to evade a hit and not get blown up and create a little bit more time and space. And that was never something that was talked about when we were growing up, at least in St. Louis. I don't know.
You also offensively, you've negated the ability for the defender to angle you. Right. If you're skating in a straight line, it's really easy for the defender to angle you. If you get out into the middle of the ice, dot line, you've decreased that defender's ability to get him to get you to where he wants to go. Now it's a little bit harder. Not a little bit. It's a lot harder, especially if you're a fast player, you're really good at changing speeds or going laterally. So like that's another thing. We talk about angling so much from a defensive perspective. I think we need to be talking about angling more from an offensive perspective too. That's why we get to the middle of the ice, because now they can't angle us to the wall easier anymore. That's a big thing too. It's almost like make them make the first move, Conway. Get to the middle so you can be the one that's the aggressor on the angle rather than skating in a straight line. Now the defender is the one that has all the power in the angling battle, let's call it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like we need to start talking offensively about angling more too.
100%, man. And one of our producers, Steph, just texted me while we're talking here. The term beeline comes from the idea that bees fly in a straight line back to their hive. It's used to describe the most direct route between 2 points.
Tell me you thought that the B line was, did you actually think that it was like going in the letter B?
No, I was just
You
like,
said that earlier.
no. Well, that was a joke.
Oh, okay.
But I also didn't think anything past B line. I was like, why is it called the B
Just
line?
go
I didn't
fast.
think BEE. Yeah, So to any of our listeners who are like me, there's the historical reference. Thank you, Steph.
Well, John, let me ask you this. So with what we do with the Youth Blueprint, like we've learned so much from beginning of year 1 to end of year 1, beginning of year 2 to end of year 2. What would you say you guys have learned the most in getting in on the ground level and teaching these things to kids? Like, what are the biggest things that they're missing? What are the biggest things that you're seeing the growth on? How have you changed the way that maybe you've done your programming and taught the body contact and stuff, just from where you were when you started to thinking about it of where you are now? What are some of the things that have changed and allowed you to grow with your program?
Oh, good question. I would say some of the biggest things for us is just the women's side of our program. We've actually kind of tripled in the last 3 years as far as teaching girls and how to use their bodies properly. And they actually might be more aggressive than the boys sometimes because they just have this pent up aggression and they get to go hit these dummies and they have some fun with it. And so they also are learning, though, how to not be timid and use their bodies. I would also say the concussion awareness piece of it all, because we make an emphasis on that and people understanding what a concussion is, just on the easiest terms, right? And we just put out an article on our website of why helmets can't protect you from concussions. You could have the best helmet on in the world and a big bubble on your head too, but if your head still gets hit hard enough, and everybody's anatomy is different, the only protection for your brain is your skull and that fluid that's inside. And so, you can have a great helmet on that will kind of reduce that hit a little bit, but again, when you're putting yourself in a bad situation, like a suicide pass, or you get hit along the boards and the glass and are off the ground. I would say the education piece as far as a concussion and what it is really kind of opens the kids' eyes a little bit into, all right, I got to put myself in a better position. I can't put myself in bad situations. Learning how to use my body and get myself in the right spot. I mean, we tell people sometimes it's better off just to get hit right off your butt and get knocked down to the ground than it is to kind of go forward and try and turn your head around, right? So rather than skating forward and looking back over your shoulder, you're better off just turning around and catching a pass sometimes, right? And so I would rather take that bump off the back knowing I'm going to get hit forward and knocked over than having to look over my shoulder, look backwards, and get smoked right across the middle, right? And so those are some of those lessons that we teach. I think as far as our company and moving forward, we've been able to scale our business now, so we can be more places than where we were. And we started this in Minnesota, and we're expanding it kind of out to the Connecticut area right now, and Michigan area, down to the Chicago area a little bit. We're getting into Indiana and trying to get to Toronto and Ottawa, and just trying to get to more places to give more people opportunities to do this. And I think that's been the exciting part about this is, all the feedback that we get on it is kids have a blast, coaches learn something, and they get to keep doing it more and more, right? And so really it's, the game's supposed to be fun still, right? So if we can find a way to make this fun for the kids and the coaches, why not? Like it's a great game and we should be enjoying it.
Yeah, fun and safe. Fun and safe, because we had a lot of fun doing that one drill that I was talking about earlier. It's full speed freaking battle royale. Maybe not safe. Maybe not safe. What you guys are doing,
stupid.
Yeah, very stupid. What you guys are doing is fun and safe. And honestly, like, and I asked you the question before, but like for me, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of congruencies between injury prevention from a concussion standpoint and just hockey sense.
Yeah.
Like scanning, keeping your head up, understanding the game, stuff like that. Those two really go hand in hand at the end of the day. And like, that's where, I mean, how many concussions, Vex, how many concussions that we see in hockey don't, like, it's not it's unawareness. It's being unaware and not knowing when a hit is coming and not playing with your head up. That's where, I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, but anecdotally, when I see people get blown up, they're not watching and they don't understand what's going on in the play. And so these two things, they go hand in hand. It makes the game safer. Like John, what you're doing, it makes the game safer, but it also makes the game better because more kids are playing with their head up. More kids understand how to use their body. More kids understand how the game of hockey works and reading pattern recognition, so they can kind of sense when something is coming. It goes hand in hand. It's not just injury prevention; it's also player development.
Yeah, I mean, again, anecdotally, same for me. And especially now, training so many athletes with my company this last year, almost every single concussion that any player that I've worked with has gotten was like when they were looking the other way and they got blindsided, or they were looking down real quick, or shoulder checking this way or hit from behind. It was when they didn't know the impact was about to hit them for whatever reason. So it's, the more that we can teach these things, the less concussions I think there's going to be for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree, Vex. I think also, when you talk about looking back or whatnot, I mean, we have this, so we do an hour-long, 45-minute video before we go on the ice with these kids. And, we teach them kind of where those common places are, where the injuries and whatnot. And, when we talk about suicide passes and we say, this guy got a suicide pass, we show them a video of what it looks like because they need to understand what it looks like, right? But we ask them, whose fault is it? Whose fault that you got a suicide pass up the middle, right? Most of them are like, it's the person that passed it. I'm like, well, why isn't it the person's fault that was put themselves in that position to get that pass from behind them, right? And instead of kind of coming across the ice, now you're going north and south and you're looking over your shoulder for the puck. Like, that's kind of your fault too. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't like your teammate, I guess throw him a suicide pass, but
it is true that
yeah.
it's both people's fault. It's not just the person passing the puck. Yeah, and you're right. That's actually funny you say that because I haven't heard the term suicide pass in a long time. We used to say it all the time growing up, though. Usually the blame fell on the person passing the puck, but I don't want to say it's opposite because there still should be some responsibility for that person to take care of their teammate, but also you've put yourself in that position. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
Another problem that we're finding too is the communication part of it all. If you're going to get a pass and you're going to get hit, who says anything anymore? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been to a youth game lately, but nobody says anything, right? Whether they're a teammate on the ice, whether they're on the bench, the only people that are normally screaming during a bad pass or somebody's going to get hit is the coach, the parents, or sometimes even the referee will say something like, look out, right? And so that's the other part of what we teach too, is what do you say? What do you say if somebody's going to get hit? I mean, Vex, I'm sure you and Toph can probably give me 10 different terms of if somebody's on your team is going to get hit, what do you say, right?
Heads. On you.
I got the perfect one. My God, Happy, look out, huh?
Volkswagen. No, but I think what you just said right there, the best, that's being a good teammate. That's being a good teammate. And when you're on the bench, anywhere when the play is close to you, you should be talking to everyone on the ice. Not just heads up, but like you're a winger coming up the boards close to your bench. Your whole bench should be yelling, got time, or 2 seconds, he's close, middle's open, drop it. Like the more that you as a guy on the bench are unselfish and give your energy to the guys on the ice, the better players you are going to make on the ice, and they will do the same for you. And I know this, like I make a lot of jokes about myself here as hockey players, too much self-deprecation sometimes because I don't let my guys do that ever. So I have been thinking about how I do that sometimes on the podcast. However, my vision really was not good on the ice until I got older and I forced myself to do like scanning the ice throughout every single minute of every single practice and all the eye stuff I had to do for my brain recovery. But before that, I would tell all of my teammates, look, I'm going to be down low, spinning and moving below the goal line. I'm not going to see you. Like, I don't have good vision. You have to yell. And if you yell, I'll put the puck wherever I hear you. But, like, you have to talk to me, and I'll get you the puck. but the odds are I'm not going to see you. So you better talk to me and I'll do the same for you. And I just realized how much easier it made the game for me as a guy with less vision when my line mates would talk. So I started doing that for all of my teammates because, like, man, if it helps me, it's going to help anybody else. And we're talking about hitting, but also just like in the game of hockey, the more information you have, the better decision making you can make. And everything happens in an instant. So every yell, every stick tap, every talk, every shoulder check, all of that will just allow the player with the puck and without the puck to make a better decision. More better decisions mean you win more battles, mean you win more games.
You're a smart hockey guy, Vex.
You know, it's not just a beautiful face.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Well, John, let's switch gears here a little bit, and hopefully we've given our listeners some great stuff, because we get a ton of questions from Bantam parents, Pee Wee Major parents that are going into Bantams next year about how they can help to protect their kid, and again, like I said, it's not just that, it's not just protecting your kid, you're also making them better hockey players too. It's
Right.
player development on top of it. But you're also a hockey dad, and a lot of people that I'm sure listen have kids that have hopes and dreams of playing at some high levels, and right now your son is at the level that a lot of kids aspire to be at the NTDP. And we talk a lot on the podcast about adversity and the importance of building resilience. And we've said this before, but people don't understand how hard the coaches and the staff at the national program make it for their players. It is not an easy place to be, especially in your first year. A lot of these kids, their first year away from home. You're playing against junior competition at 16 years old and beyond. And so I'd love to hear from you. Your son is in it. You're out in Michigan right now, so you see him every day. Like, what are some of the things that he's going through, and what are some of the ways that you're supporting him as a dad in this? It is at the NTDP, so it's awesome, but it's also, we know how difficult, especially that first year is. So can you talk to the parents a little bit here, and just like, what are some of these things that you're seeing, and how are you supporting your son as he's going through this process of probably hitting quite a bit of adversity right now?
Yeah, I could touch on that. I think it's for me personally, consider ourselves very fortunate, right? Very lucky to be in this situation, right? Not everybody gets to be in a situation like this, and our son has worked very hard to get to where he's at, right? Just like every kid that's gotten here, and every kid that was at the 40-man camp and has gotten. I mean, so people kind of hit their stride at every different age, right? And are fortunate for our son, he's gotten the opportunity to come out here and be here and compete. But with that comes a lot of adversity, right? Like they throw the adversity right in front of you, and it's they're 16 years old and they're playing in the USHL, right? I mean, those guys are 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and so it's you're not there to really overly succeed or hang on to the puck for a long time. It's to make your process and things go faster. And that's hard, especially coming from levels where all these kids had a ton of success, right? Puck was on their tape a lot and they played a lot of minutes and they're used to all of that. And I would say every kid in this program is going through some sort of adversity, right? Whether it's they're not performing, or they're not playing well, or they're not getting enough ice time, or why is this happening to me? Or there's adversity everywhere. Every kid has adversity, and I think um, just being able to support and listen. Sometimes, and I just heard a good quote the other day. Listening is supporting, right? And you don't have to say anything back. You don't have to give advice back. You don't, as a parent, you don't always have to have the answer, right? Sometimes kids just want to talk, right, and get it out, and let them do their thing, and it makes a lot of sense too. And these kids, they're equipped with everything they could possibly have to succeed, and the quicker they realize that it's on them, right, and their development, and if they want more, they got to ask for more. If they want to change their situation, they have to do something about it. It's nothing that you can do as a parent that's going to change any of that, right? If they have a desire to go there, then they have to set goals, and they have to do things in order to get there, right? And some days those kids are gonna waver, and some days they're gonna hit it right on the head, right? And so it's not easy, but I think that both you guys went through this, right? And I think the thing of it is we probably went through it a couple years later, right? In maturity model of when we were probably older, right? And these kids are just hitting it at a younger age, and they're forced to grow up a little bit quicker, and that's the choice that they chose, right? And so, it's we all hit adversity at some point in our lives, and no plan. I mean, I can't look back on my life and say, yeah, everything worked out the way that I wanted it to work out, right? There was road bumps, there was adversity, and there's how you handled it that's most important in that. So that's just trying to be there and support that.
Amen. Amen. I it's funny, like I credit my parents a lot for the success that I had in times of adversity. I really do. If I had parents that were enablers, if I had parents who always just tried to sugarcoat things or make me feel better, if I had parents who were victimy, like when things weren't going, like I had parents that were very supportive. I had parents who you always knew you could listen, like you said, listening. You can always go to them and talk about whatever it was. And I'm fortunate because my parents both came from hockey families. My dad played college hockey. My mom's brother played college hockey. Like they all kind of knew. But I would say, and knowing this from recruiting, a lot of kids that don't make it have parents that make excuses for their kids. I'm going to repeat that. A lot of kids that don't make it have parents that make excuses for those kids.
Oh, give me it one more time.
No, I don't know if I can do it again. That is hard to remember. But
that's true.
I really feel like as a parent, you have just as much, if not more, probably more of an effect on your kids' ability to reach their dreams than any coach ever will, specifically in these times. Because I've been around a lot of parents who are excuse makers for their kids and always point the finger at everybody else instead of themselves or their kids or whatever. And looking anecdotally, over all these years of working in college hockey and being in youth hockey and now doing what I do, if you have a mom and a dad that teach you the importance and the value of accountability and ownership, that's one of the best gifts that you can give your child at the end of the day. On top of, John, what you talked about, the support. The support is very important too. And I don't want to glaze over that because kids are hard on themselves to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
The way that youth hockey is today, they are being expected and told to be professionals at way too young of an age, which adds a pressure to them that, again, I've said this on the podcast, when I do in-person parent talks, I will ask the parent group the question, how many of your kids are way too hard on themselves? And every time, full stop, it's like 75% of the room that raises their hands. Your kids need their love and your love and support. Your kid needs you to tell them the truth. Your kid needs you to not make excuses for them when they're going through the tough times. And again, like, Vex, I know your mom and dad were the same way. Like, they're going to tell you exactly what they think. They're not going to, if you're going through a tough time, what can we do to get through it? Not who can we talk to better the situation? Like, no, like, look in a mirror and what can you do better? And so I just, for the parents out there, hopefully this is something that you can take with you on your journey with your kid, because again, like, I've seen a lot of really talented kids who at some point hit adversity, because they all do, and their parents make excuses for them or cast the blame. Like, very rarely are those the kids that end up making it. Very, very, very rarely. John, with what you've seen, Vex, with what you've seen, am I off base on saying that, or what do you think?
I mean, for me, only advice my dad gave me my whole career. It's in my gym next to my podcasting little area here. Yeah, it's tough to see. Dirty screen. Hard work, patience, more hard work. That's the only advice my dad ever gave me. And he came with him and didn't have a good game. Hard work, patience, more hard work. Came with a good game. Hard work, patience, more hard work. Didn't matter what happened in my life. It was, tell me the three things. Do those three things. Continuously focus on those three things. And if you asked anybody that I ever played with, if they could only describe me in one sentence, it would probably be hardest worker on the team. Because that was
not on my freaking team. It's rough.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. My dad was never like, well, you're better than that guy, and you should be on the power play and not little John. It never, not once did either of my parents ever say that. It was, did you have fun? And then hard work, patience, more hard work. And that was literally it. And just instilled that in me. And I think that there's no doubt, like Toph said, that's why I had the successes that I did in the game of hockey, and why I've had the successes in the game of life as well, is because that's just like all there was no excuses. It was just that. You didn't have a good tryout. Well, get back to it. Hard work, patience, more hard work. Be better next time.
Better luck next year.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. And again, I'll say it again. Toph said it 2 times. I don't remember the exact words, but the parents of players who make excuses are the players that never, ever, 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 ever make it, and usually have a tougher time later in life after hockey too.
Well, that's a big part of it too. Yeah. Like, what are the life lessons that you're getting by being an excuse maker? Is it that you're going to be that your whole life? And I don't know many excuse makers who are successful at the end of the day. I don't. Do you guys?
No, zero.
No, not at all.
Oh man.
I mean, part of it too is remembering why our kids are in a sport, right? I mean, we always say that sports is a good way to teach life lessons, right? And so sometimes we get so caught up in a sport that we forget that this will end someday, and they're going to go work somewhere or not work somewhere or whatever it may be. But you want good people and good kids, and at the end of the day, give your kids the tools and the resources they need to be successful in life, right? And so that's when you step back from the whole thing in the game, it's still a game. Love the game, right? It's given us all a great life in the sport. And but again, let's think of the lessons that you get out of this sport. And really, it's tough because nobody ever wants to see their kid fail, right? We hate watching our kids fail, right? And I mean, Vex, when kid gets to walking, right, she's gonna fall over, and Topher's got his girls, and they're all going to hit a spot where they're going to fail at some point too, right? And it's not be there to pick them up and help them through it, and understand that, yeah, it sucks, but what else can you do now from this point on? So
100%. Love it. All right. So we got you with what you're doing now. We got you a little bit as a hockey parent. I want to ask you a little bit as a player. You had the opportunity to play for one of the most successful college hockey coaches of this generation, potentially even of all time, in Scott Sandlin at University of Minnesota Duluth, multiple-time national champion. I would imagine he won the Spencer Penrose Award for best college hockey coach at some point in his career. Old school guy, had a ton of success. What was it like playing for Sandy? Because I've heard so many great things about him as a coach, as a man. What was your experience like, and what made him so good?
Oh man, gosh, I've known him for a long time now. I mean, his daughter and our daughter actually grew up and went to the same school together. So
Oh, wow.
I've known Sandy since he came in at UMD there, and even after. Him and his wife and his family are just good people, right? That's I mean, just like anything, the first and foremost, when you're a good person and you surround yourself with good people, he cares about you as a person, right? And his players, and he's one of those coaches that knows everything about all of his players and can talk with them and relate to them and guide them. And I was fortunate enough to have him when he first came in. So I was a sophomore when he came in from North Dakota, and he had an open tryout. So the guys still had to try out, and we had people come in, and he cut scholarship people and that were there. And this was before he could really let people go, and he kind of did it and built the program to the way he wanted to, and he knew what he wanted to do. Right? He's very methodical in his thought process. I imagine things that come out from him are well thought out by the time that they actually get to the boys and the guys. But he's a great hockey mind. He's a constant learner and just an overall good person. They got a great, they've had a great run there at UMD, and they had a lot of success. And heck, right after I was out of there in '03, they made it to the Frozen Four in '04. So they got rid of some dead weight, and I like to say I left the program better than I found it. So yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well, in what you're saying, John, I feel like there's a big sense of like you have to earn it. You have to earn it. And at the end of the day, like I think the best coaches are the ones that really make even their best players. You got to earn it. You got to earn your ice time. You're not beholden to things because of your name or because of who you are or whatever, but like you got to earn your ice time. You got to earn your role and stuff like that. Was that a big part of kind of the culture that he created there?
Yeah, it's a massive part. I mean, I think any team, any successful team, if everybody has to earn it, everybody understands why people are playing, right? I mean, if you look at somebody on a, somebody's been gone or whatever, and they jump right in on the power play and they don't even move without even earning it, right? I think it's those are all things that teammates look at and they say, look, like I may not be as good as him, but I've been here for 8 weeks, right? Like at least make him earn it for a few weeks before before you put him in and replace me type of thing, right? And I think we did battle drills forever, and he was very respectful of everybody and was honest with everybody and gave you what you needed to do to get better or earn your way into a spot. Or he was saying like, hey, you're never going to make that spot, right? But you can make this spot type of thing too, right? And so I think there was many times where you had to earn it on those good teams, and he was always one of those coaches that earned it and also earned the respect out of the players when he did that too. So
It's like John Cooper sitting Braden Point. We did a little Friday face-off. When was that? Maybe a month ago. A couple weeks ago. John Cooper missed a meeting, or not John Cooper missed a meeting. Braden Point missed a meeting, and Cooper sat him out. And the amount of respect that you get when you hold your top players accountable to the same standards of everybody else, I mean, that's gold as a coach. And on the flip side of that, when you don't do that, you lose the respect, especially if that skilled guy who's not buying in is not a likable guy and people don't really like him on the team, then that really causes problems. And I've been a part of teams like that too. That's not fun.
And even before that, having standards that everyone knows what the standards are. It's so funny we're having this conversation. I literally had a talk yesterday with a leadership group of a college hockey team about this specific thing. They've slipped a little bit, even though they're ranked super high in the nation and all this stuff, and talking about the standards. Well, what are the team standards? What are the standards for every player in the locker room that the team sets and the coach sets? And that, because if you don't have that standard, then you can't judge people. Are you living the standard that this team lives by? And if you are, great, continue to do that and help everybody else reach the standard. And if you're not, you're able to look in the mirror and other guys can point out to you, hey, like these things aren't at the standard. That's why you're not playing right now. We need you to hit the standard for yourself and for the team. And then everybody's moving forward in the same direction, pulling the rope in the same way. But without first setting what are the standards of this team for practices, for games, for living, being a part of this team, you can't hold people to said standards.
Agreed.
Did you say said standards or set standards?
Said standards. That's in the standards that we're talking about.
Gotcha. Nice. Sorry, John. I think I cut you off there.
No, you're
Yes,
good.
we should-
And it's funny too when you talk about setting. Here's a question for you, Vax. When you set those standards, are those like points, assists, or are those all things that you can kind of control? Right? Are
Yeah,
those?
they're controllables, baby? Are you on time? Are you always trying to outwork your teammates? Are you making guys better by paying attention to the details? Do you know the 4-check, back check? All of those things. Like, are you doing your job? Do you know your jobs? Like, are you doing your video every night or whatever 3 times a week that the coach is sending you? Like, are you doing all of these things? None of them ever have to do with points.
And are you going to the mall later?
That's what I was asking.
You...
No, it's a player, not a word.
R-O-K?
R-O-C-K.
All right, John. Well, this has been an awesome conversation here. You have such a great perspective on a lot of things, and what you're doing with 4-check hockey is a huge service to the hockey world. So for our listeners, where can they find you? Website, social media, you can even give your phone number out so people can call it. I'm kidding. Yeah. Where can people find you?
They can go to our website. It's 4checkhockey.com, and that's the number for CHECKHOCKEY, .com. And then we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, that kind of stuff, but not on the TikTok. It's a lot of work there. So to do the old TikTok and so
I don't do it either.
Did you know that Jeff Lavecchio has over 100,000 followers on Instagram?
Blue check mark.
Blue check mark. Mail mouth.
Anybody can get a blue check mark now, though.
Well, now.
Wait, what?
Not back in the day. You got to pay for it. Not I, said the fly, though.
Well, John, we're going to keep you for a couple more minutes for our Hockey Think Tank community, which you are going to be a part of moving forward. So if you like what John has to say, he's going to be a part of our community too. And so you can get the chance to talk to him on a more personal level, ask him some questions and stuff like that too. But we got 10 questions for the community that'll be housed over there. If you are not in the Hockey Think Tank community, go to the community.thehockeythinktank.com and sign up today. Shut up, Jeffrey. And that. But John, thanks for your time here. We loved it, and looking forward to the 10 questions here. We appreciate your insight.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. Really appreciate it, and keep up the great work. What you're doing, it's definitely changing the game.
It might not feel like it, but spring's right around the corner. Know how you can tell? Golfers are hitting the links, and we have some tournaments to talk about. And if you want to do more than just talk, put your money where your mouth is and get in on all the tee to green action with DraftKings Sportsbook. From Thursday's opening round through the closing on Sunday, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with tournament props, live betting, odd boosts, and so much more. If you've never been on golf before, it's easier than you think. Just pick something simple like a golfer to win the tourney and make your pick. It's just that easy. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.